Executive Board.
KBC English Service.
The Executive Board. Economic analysis, perspectives and debates on KBC English Service.
KBC Nairobi.
Wamoyi Masila sits in the executive room with experts and decision makers as they share their perspectives on the economy.
The Executive Board is a three-part interview that looks at challenges, solutions, and untapped opportunities in each and every sector of the economy. Today, we look at how to succeed in the current business environment characterized by high cost of living, unstable foreign exchange rates, and turbulence in the international market, among others. What does it take for large brands in the electronic business to remain afloat? Our executive is William Kamore, LG Electronic East Africa Content Manager. You are welcome to the program, The Executive Board.
Thank you very much for having me, Wamoyi. It's nice to be here. William Kamore is a senior trainer and a content manager. I've been in the LG Electronics East Africa for close to 10 years with the expertise, especially in the market and also in marketing. My journey started about 10 years ago, and I started off in sales. And when I started off in sales, then I was able to move up the ladder. I went to marketing. And so in marketing, I became in charge of training, which I've been doing for close to 10 years. And then also handling content that we air outside there, be it on social media, be it on print media or on blogging. We go through and then check what exactly we are communicating out there and how best it entails to the customer, because at the end, it's the customer's perspective.
What motivates you to wake up every morning, go about doing your work?
First of all, I like what I do. And then my family, my children, my wife, to get up early in the morning. And I've come always to Nairobi and see what we have to do. And yeah, I like talking. So any talk show, it's good to always come in and talk.
What are some of the challenges you encounter on a daily basis?
In electronics, marketing is quite dynamic. Customers keep evolving and changing because like the customers we were talking to close to 10 years ago are not the same customers we are talking to this year. So we have to keep up with it. I have to keep up with the trends, where the customers are, what are their communication channels, how best we can reach them, and how best we can have products that match their lifestyles.
How do you cope up with the challenges on a daily basis?
We have a large corporate team that is also able to handle issues we have in the market on ground, and also if there's any also issue or any feedback we get on the online spaces. So we try as much to be in the field of where the customers are, because that's how best we can be able to keep up in this field.
This is the Executive Board. Economic analysis, perspectives and debates on KBC English Service with Wamoyi Masila.
Away from our executive's profile, on the program, The Executive Board on KBC English Service. Today we are looking at the trends in the market, how to succeed in the current business environment. What is your take on the current business environment?
It's facing a lot of challenges, especially when it comes to external matters and internal matters, because like you've seen, even from the wars going on in Ukraine, also in Palestine, there have been challenges, especially on the route or the canal where I usually have most of our products coming in. So what we aim to do, especially for external matters, is how best we can forecast such challenges coming in to ensure that we are able to get our goods in time, and also not to let down our distributors and our customers at the far end, to ensure that they have a regular flow of the product. And then when it comes to also internal factors, we are going through a major economic shift and challenge in the country, because also the end user, the buying power has been going down over the years. And then there was also the COVID era that came in, and now as we are recovering, as you've seen, there's a lot of challenges coming in. So we try and see how best or which products would fit, especially during this time, to ensure that we're able to bridge both gaps in terms of the customer's profile.
Still on the internal market, there is the issue of the anti-government protests. How has that affected your business?
I think all major towns are affected, and also this will affect our business partners, our dealers, our distributors, and also at the far end, the customers, because you find actually we even have some of our dealers here just in Nairobi CBD that were able to lose much of their stock value. Their shops were broken into, and then also loss of business and also loss of working hours, because now they always have to shut down shops, and also that hinders in terms of the service that we're able to provide to our end users.
Most businesses in the country, especially the blue chip companies like yourself, have been contemplating of moving out from this market, perhaps targeting an environment that is a bit friendly neighboring countries, because the cost of doing business is very high. Others are also thinking of retrenchment. How about your company's initiatives?
When it comes to the employees, and also when it comes to in terms of doing business, we try and aim and try to reach a discussion and also see how best we can work with the government, because as you all know, there are a lot of major companies based here in Nairobi, and Kenya actually serves as one of the best hubs when it comes to hosting most of these blue chip companies or international companies, because it's a central location. It makes it favorable to reach out to other regions. So what we try and do best is try and see how we can work with the government in terms of these changes they want to try and implement, and see how best we can leverage even in collaboration with others, and also see how best we can do business.
Look at the taxation regime in the country and how it impacts on your business.
Various taxes that we've had incurred, especially in imports, and also in terms of the products going out to the distributor and then at the far end to the customers. As laws are implemented, we cannot evade such factors as taxes. But in the end, we try and see how best we can try and cushion the end user, such that when they're buying a particular product, we do not set the price to be too high because of the taxation, but also taking into key other factors like especially the currency fluctuation into bit. So that is also a negotiation table we do currently oftenly in terms of pricing. So every month you have to do a price review of price changes depending on what the market entails or what the currency value is, and also in terms of any other taxes. I think another challenge is in terms of the counterfeits, especially in the electronics field. We do have a lot of cases of counterfeits coming into the market, or what we call grey goods. And I would like to commend the government, especially in the anti-counterfeit agency, for putting up measures on how best to handle these counterfeits, how they come into market. And they have been doing so for the past close to 5 years. We've seen very much support from the government in terms of closing in these channels that enable having these products coming, because some of the issues you find is that there are products in the market, but if they are not certified or they are not made for this region, it poses a threat to the end user. So that's why you might find sometimes the products might break down, or even sometimes you can get issues of let's say fire, because each product is regulated as per the region. So yeah, that is one of the challenge that we've been trying to keep up with.
This is the Executive Board, economic analysis, perspectives and debates on KBC English Service with Wamoyi Masila.
We're looking at how to succeed in the current business environment, the trends, and then, currently the business environment is characterized by high cost of living, inflation, if you like, unstable foreign exchange rates, and turbulence in the international market, among others. And we're just discussing with William Kamore, that is the LG Electronic East Africa Content Manager, how they're able to remain afloat in this market. We move on to the second part of the interview. We've just heard about the challenges. Now it's about solutions to the challenges he has just mentioned.
So in terms of the counterfeits, in the year 2020-2021, we launched a campaign known as the Genuine Campaign. And so what this Genuine Campaign is that we sensitize the end users on how best to check for a product.
How have you also embraced the use of technology in your activities?
It has been said that technology changes and people evolve together with technology. So you have to keep up with the current technology that are going on through in its artificial intelligence or its AI technology services that ensures that the customer gets the convenience or gets the value that they can be able to get from the product, meaning that the product understands the customers and you get utmost convenience in terms of using your product. Like you can be able to control your fridge or washing machine from your smartphone if you're at home or at work. And in terms of also reaching out online, we try as much as having our presence in the online, let's say in online transactions, and also in what we call online brand shops. So actually in the just concluded e-commerce awards, our distributor Opalnet Limited, through their e-commerce website, were voted the best when it comes to e-commerce in terms of home appliances and electronics. So also keeping up with the technology helps also in giving the confidence to the end user that they are indeed in the right space.
This is the Executive Board, economic analysis, perspectives and debates on KBC English Service with Wamoyi Masila.
Our guest is William Kamore. He is the LG Electronic East Africa Content Manager, and you're looking at the current trends of doing business, scanning at the environment, and how best to improve business activities in this kind of environment. Now we move on to the third and final part of this interview, which looks at untapped opportunities in every and each sector of the economy. In this third and final part of the interview, what are some of the untapped opportunities within the electronic business?
The electronic business, it's very dynamic. Like every time and then you cannot be able to know how the trends are being. So what you try and check out, especially on or any untapped businesses, is one, how best to expand on the regional wise, especially covering all major towns in Nairobi. So that is one of the aim that we try to push, because this year we've had a considerable growth in our network, especially in Kenya, ensuring that even remote places, let's say like Kilifi, Marsabit or Wajir, we are able to reach out to those spaces. And then also the other thing we try to keep up is also the online spaces, because like we have seen, we can say a revolution of kind in terms of the Gen Zs. So how best to work in their spaces? We do have an ongoing partnership with the University of Nairobi in terms of the engineering department, where we get to train and we also get to interview and host some of the engineering students in our AC Academy, and also another partnership going on with the Kenyatta University, the Learning Center, where they are able to take up languages in terms of Korean language, Korean culture, and then also how best we can be able to have this technology existing in their online spaces.
What the young people are facing today and what we are seeing on the streets, what they also want, one of the things they're advocating for is to get jobs, to be employed. Yes, you're offering training, you're collaborating with different universities or colleges to empower them.
Yes.
Apart from that, what else are you doing to support them in job creation?
Okay, so like one I mentioned is the ongoing partnership with like in KU University or University of Nairobi, is that you find we do offer a channel on how best we can be able to have these students coming from the university going on to employment spaces, as well as also a collaboration we have together with the Technical University of Kenya. Every year we do get about 5 to 10 students from the Technical University of Kenya, which we incorporate on our service department so that they can be able to continue with what they learned. And also the same, like I mentioned, with the AC or the engineers, how best we can collaborate with them to link them with the probable consultants after they finish. And just to mention on the digital space, like I mentioned on the Gen Zs, one good thing they are at is also on content creation.
The social media has been a major tool used to transform lives of many young people in the country. What are some of the missing gaps that you feel should be addressed to ensure sustainable and positive growth of the digital economy?
From where I sit, especially, is I get to see a lot of our digital spaces. They have content or algorithms that let's say would not align most with our end users, because it depends on how often you work on your social media. that will entail what you will consume from there on. So I would encourage that most brands or agencies that work with the online spaces to try and work on how better to convey messages that will relate well with the end users, because that is where most of people are on the digital spaces.
Just case studies or examples, inspiring stories that you've come across, the content on the digital platform that you've been able to support. Yes.
So in the past 4 years, we've been running the LG Ambassador program, and this LG Ambassador Challenge program is matters or issues affecting one's society or in the community, where it is free and open to anyone. So you just log into the page, fill in the form, say what you want to support. We've had projects in Kajiado, in Nyahururu, also in Nairobi, here in Mathare, some in Kariobangi, also in assisting the Braille community, and also limb support. So, and all this I would say has come through the online platforms, because that will be the most easiest part we can be able to have. Also, we are in the Olympics period, and I will encourage Team Kenya also to go for the best, and that aligns with also what we've been going through. I think in the last 10 years, it's the partnership with the Sports Journalists Association of Kenya, and where we get to award talent on a monthly basis, and also try and encourage all these upcoming athletes in all major fields, be it football, rugby, and see how best we can bring up the new generation so that they can be able to get inspired as to what the older generation or the current generation is currently going through.
For a young person, agency or alpha in the near future who is listening to you and it has this brilliant idea in the electronic world and is like, once I'm done with the university, I would want to venture into this area, either to begin my own business. What would you tell him or her the starting point?
What I would encourage is, like I mentioned, all solutions, all problems, all issues, like I say, you can be able to have, you can be able to get the answers, let's say, on straight to your mobile phone or on also the digital spaces. Any individual that has any invention or has any innovation or has any bright idea that can be encompassed in the electronics field, there's even a live link to also our MD, so you can be able to tell them anything and it goes directly to them. So it's open, and you can be able to bring in your ideas and we'll get to listen to them.
Currently, as we look at what is happening in the country, as we even discuss the program, the environment is not very stable. What are your recommendations going forward for having a stable environment that businesses can thrive?
I would like to call on board, let's say, all parties that are involved, because even though if it's, let's say, if it's the business environment, like we saw in the CBD going on, I would say is collaboration with all the parties involved, because for the business environment, it would mean having on board the government institutions, parastatals, and also the private business owners, as well as the international businesses that exist, and seeing how best we can be able to tackle this situation. I would like to mention for the end users is or what to look out for is one thing is if you're going out to look for a product, so one, ensure it is genuine, because at the end it's the customer that gets to enjoy all this product. And then on the business perspective, look out for more opportunities and more products, especially on the social groups. You can get to win also some awards.
Thank you for informing our audience on the current environment of doing business and how best we can move forward and what others can also learn from your organization.
Good. Thank you for having me.
Karibu sana. The program has been the Executive Board on KBC English Service. We looked at how to succeed in the current business environment. Remember, the current business environment is not very friendly. It still has the challenges to do with high cost of living, unstable foreign exchange rates. And on the international market, we see the crises, the war issues, which there's a turbulence in the international market. And then we looked at the challenges, solutions, and opportunities of growth in the electronic business, with our case study being LG Electronic East Africa and their manager, East Africa Content Manager, is William Kamore. And we look forward to hosting him again in our shows. Thank you.
Wamoyi Masila sits in the executive room with experts and decision makers as they share their perspectives on the economy.
KBC English Service.
The executive board is also available as a podcast on www.kbc.co.ke.
KBC Nairobi.